Welcome to the 13th episode of the Niagara Podcast. I'm Rob Arbo, your host, and I want you to hit that like and subscribe button for me. You guys keep doing that. Builds onto the show. The subscribe button's really big. Tell your friends, family, share it on your Facebook pages. We need to get our numbers up. We're 70 subscribers, which I'm very proud of. When I started this, I said, if I get to 20, I'll be happy. We're at 70, so we're going to keep doing it. So thank you again. So that's
I love it. You guys
Yep,
are
that
so
works.
great.
I gotta do something real quick. I gotta put my mic back in here. A headphone. I gotta get a better headphone set. My volume, my mic's not working the way I'd like it to work. Our sound is a little off. So we're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna go on with the show to get to it because I want to have a show. And that's what we're gonna do. We'll do with the mic with this show, and if it goes over good, we'll continue to use the mic. If not, I may go back to the old way with the smaller mics until I learn how to use this better. Because I'm still recording with my phone. I did buy a camera. We're in the process of hooking that up. The camera's right here. We'll hook that up and maybe do some live shows with that. Who knows? But with that said, I want to thank you to our sponsor, Total Fence. Total Fence is running a special. So if you call him for an estimate and it's 100 feet or larger, and you mention the Niagara Grit podcast, you will receive a 10 to 15% discount depending on how large the fence is. It has to be at least 100 foot for the 10%. He's running this special till April 15th, and he's filling up quick. So let's get those estimates. You call him for an estimate, he'll come, you mention us, you get 10, 15% off your job. Thank you, Total Fence, for your sponsorship. We appreciate everything you've done for us, including buying us our equipment and so forth. With that said, we're going to move on to the Niagara Grits Athlete of the Week. Okay? And we're going to take off the gritty glasses. Because I got to see, right? That's better. I could see better. I don't know how the volume's working or the speaker's working. I could hear it in my ears. When I did a test run, it kind of sounds muffled sometimes. I'm not sure. So I'm trying to hold the mic close to my face and figure out how to do this as we move along. So with that said, I want to congratulate the boys, North Tonawanda boys, for a great season. They lost in the Far West Regional 62-49 to Penfield at Rochester. So, and a crazy thing here is that Athlete of the Week is going to be from the North Tonawanda girls team, as they also had a game in the Far West Regionals, both Section 6 champs, against Webster out of Rochester. The girls, however, came out on top by a score of 62-48. So congratulations to the whole ladies North Tonawanda high school girls basketball team for making it to the state semifinals and finals. With that said, the Niagara Grits Athlete of the Week, high school's Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Total Fence, is Annabella Day for the North Tonawanda Warriors. Annabella had a great game in that regional that earned her the Athlete of the Week. She had 24 points and 8 of 16 shooting from the field. She went 5 of 8 from 3-point land and 3 for 4 from the foul line. She also added 3 rebounds and get this 6 assists. Annabelle has been averaging 6.2 assists a game throughout the season. That ranks her second in New York State. So the Niagara Grits High School Athlete of the Week is Annabelle Day from the North Tonawanda Warriors ladies basketball team. And good luck to that team, as next week they will be in Hudson Valley out of Troy, New York, to play in the state championship. So let's root them on here from Niagara County. We love you guys. Making the county look big, right? Here at Niagara Grit. We like to offer them some luck there. I'll say next show how they made out. I'll let you guys know. And with that, I'm going to take a little break here, little 5-minute break, 2-minute break, as I'm trying, like I said, to learn this mic out. We'll come back and I'm going to talk about a cornhole tournament that's being played over there at Bandana's Grill, and we'll talk about the Bandits. They won this weekend, and they're in a good playoff spot. They look to be in good position. About 4 or 5 games left in the season. We'll go over their game. From then, we'll move on to the Bills free agent talk. Okay, and after the free agent talk, we'll move on to the Sabers talk. They lost one. But they rebounded nicely last night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll go over the standings with them, and then we'll call it a day. So for now, I'm going to take a little break. I'm Arbo, the host of the Nagger Podcast, and we will be right back in a couple minutes. A couple minutes for me, anyways. A couple seconds for you. This is Nagger. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nagger Podcast. I'm your host, Arbo. And before we get into the Bandits on the second segment, I wanted to bring up cornhole tournament over at Bandana's Bar and Grill in the town of Porter. This tournament's going to be held on June 6th. It's on Mark Salvatore's Facebook page. He's running it. So what he says save the date and put it on your calendar. Bandana's Bar and Grill is hosting a benefit cornhole tournament. Come on out and throw some bags for 3 great causes. Miracle League of Western New York, the Special Olympics Niagara Orleans soccer team, and the Bandana's Alley Cat. It's going to be a $60 buy-in per team, which includes your dinner, a basket raffle. There's also going to be a 50-50. And the dinner will come with some great music by Buffalo Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Ray Wood. So please contact Mark Salvatore. You can get a hold of him at 716-940-8151, or you can get a hold of him at marksalvatore76@gmail.com. Either way, you get a hold of them and support a great cause there. So I'll put a little sticker up here so you can see it if you want to pause the video, get the information, and then see if you want to join that tournament there. With that said, I'm going to go into the Bandits. The Bandits won this weekend. They won by a score of 13-10. Great game. They come out. They were running a 4. They went out to a 4-0 lead. Built it to 6-1. In the third quarter, Colorado did make a comeback. They got within the 1, but then Bandits put it on and ended up with a 13-10 victory. That avenges a 29 loss the Bandits had in Colorado. So that's a good win for them. It's 3 in a row. We'll go over the game. In the first quarter, Dane Smith was on fire. Dane, not Dwayne. Sometimes I say Dwayne. It's Dane Smith. He was on fire. He had 2 goals right off the bat, 2 assists. He was part of all 4 goals in that 4-0 lead. And the Bandits came out flying. Like I said, they won the game. So we're going to game leaders here. I think the big thing here is that earlier I was telling you guys, talking about the Bandits, is I thought Josh Byrne was struggling a little bit. He's come on of late. The last few games, he's gotten really strong. He finished this game with 4 goals, 5 assists, and 9 points. He also, Dane Smith had 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. So, like I said, when these two are clicking, the sky's the limit. And we'll also go back to Matt Vince. 3rd game in a row where Matt Vince has only allowed 10 or under 10 goals. 10 or under 10. And that's big for him as he started off a little slow. He ended up having 45 saves in the game. So that's not too bad. And if we go into the player stats, like I said, Matt Vince had 10 goals against, but he had 45 saves on 55 shots. He played the whole game. Manichoke had a big game as well. He had no assist, but he had some highlight goals. He's becoming the new Frazier. Remember, Frazier always had the highlight goals. Now we're getting to Hoka Manichoke, who's really coming out of late with some big goals. So, yeah, and then, like I said, 4 goals, 5 assists for Byrne and Dane Smith. Kyle Buchanan added a goal. There's a newcomer in the game. Coltrane Tyson got his first assist in the NLL, his first point. He had a big game. He had 4 shots on goal. He's a physical factor out there, big, tall player. But yeah, with that said, the Bandits on a 3-game winning streak. And after 3 games of winning, they have moved up in the standings. I'm looking at the standings now, and the Bandits stand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 7th place with a 7-6 record. They're behind the Ottawa Bears at 8-6, Toronto Rock at 8-5, and Ottawa Swarm, the 4th place team, at 8-5. I think the Bandits may be able to get up to 4th if they keep playing well and get a home game for the playoff. We'll keep a close eye on it. But way to go, Bandits, to get back in this playoff picture. Hey, man, I got a slogan here back from the Bills days when they went to 4 Super Bowls. Let's do it for the Bandits, right? Piss them off and go for 4. Piss them off and go for 4. All right, let's go, Bandits. So with that said, I'm taking another little break. Hear my voice. Listen to the podcast. I'm trying different things with this mic to see how it comes out. And we'll be back to talk the Bills free agent pickup. And then after that, we'll end up with the Sabers talk. I'm Rob Arbo, your host of the Niagara Podcast, sponsored by Total Fence. We'll be right back with some Bills free agent talk. See you in a couple minutes. And welcome back to our Niagara Podcast. We're here with our third segment, a little closer to the mic, trying little different things here, different ways, with the mic, the new setup and everything. So just for shits and giggles, try little different views. We're having fun with it. So, like I said, this is the third final segment. We're going to get into these Bills free agents, okay? Let me take off the gritty glasses. The grit, you always got to have them gritty glasses on, right? Always going to have the gritty glasses on. But anyways, let's put this out. Went over the cornhole tournament. And now we're going to go to the Bills free agent tracker, okay? This is where we're at. Buffalo Bills free agent tracker. I don't pronounce my words very good sometimes. It is what it is, but we'll get with it. But anyways, here we go. Let's get into it. So after making that trade for the receiver, I'm gonna go over some stuff that they arrived after that I didn't talk about on the last show. The Bill, as you know, Trubisky was signed by Tennessee, so we needed a backup quarterback. And we signed former Bill, Kyle Allen, to a 2-year deal. This is his second stint with Buffalo after backing up Josh Allen in 2023. He appeared in 7 games for them. I don't think in those 7 games, I thought I heard him talking about it on GR. I do not think he did a pass. I don't think he did a pass. Can you see the mic? I like to see the mic. I need this mic up to me. That's why we bought it, right? So we could see it. Part of the show. I have a mic. Got to use it. I think I'm going to get one of them things that bring it up. You can adjust it right to your mouth, and I ain't got to move a lot around. I try to get all the pictures in, back wall, the Total Fence sign there with his number on it. Thank you, Total Fence, for your sponsorship. We're going to say that a lot, as you know. So he appeared in 7 games. Last season, he finished the season with the Detroit Lions. He beat out Hunter Hooker for the backup role there. He did make 3 game appearances behind Jared Goff. So that's what signing was done on Thursday, a 2-year deal for Kyle Allen. We'll take some pictures, put nice picture up of Kyle Allen up there on the stickers so you can see who he is. We all know who he is. But welcome back, Kyle. We appreciate Buffalo Bills for bringing you back, and it's a decent signing. It's not a bad signing. It's not a great signing. It's a good signing, decent signing. Now, here's a signing I kind of like. Is the defense is changing, like we know. It's changing to like a 4-3, I think, from what they had. And we're going to go to they signed a cornerback, D. Alford, out of Atlanta, from Atlanta. He played Atlanta last season. So they're stacking up the defense by the sounds of it. He signed a 3-year deal same day as Allen did on last Thursday. He's 5'11", 180 pounds, comes to Buffalo from Atlanta. He spent his entire 4-year career in Atlanta. Played 64 games. He started 23 of them from 2022 to 25 with the Falcons. He's kind of used as a movable chess piece in Atlanta. He played in the slot and the outside. I'm getting this right from the Bills website, not AI. Bills website. Where else you gonna go to get the greatest covered? This stuff I can't make up on my own. You gotta use your stuff that you. That's why we have stuff, right? I'm just sending the information back. I love the Buffalo Bills. They're my team. But yeah, he. So with that, making the defensive splash in free agency, we had another signing. Now I did not like this signing. Took a beating on Facebook for it. A lot of people don't like it for me taking that beating, and I just don't like the years added on to it. It's just not. This is a bad signing for Buffalo, I think. But let's prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Bradley Chubb. Come out and get 12 sacks this year. His injuries get me nervous. He had 3 torn ACLs there, but he is 29, coming off an 8.5 sack season, so it's kind of Bosa like numbers from last year. He's probably replacing Bosa. He also had 47 tackles, 20 quarterback hits, and 2 forced fumbles. Since coming into the league, he has 48 career sacks, 112 quarterback hits, 53 tackles for losses, and 15 forced fumbles. But a lot of that was before his torn ACL. His third one. He had one in high school, one in college, and now one in the pros. So it's something to be concerned about. He did make the Pro Bowl in 2020, 22. He's a good player. Let's face it. He is a good player. He would have been drafted in the first round by Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos chose him over Josh Allen. Kind of weird that they're both on the same team now in the 2018 draft. So let's move on to that. Those are the 2 signings that I have here. And then we had one more signing there. We signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson, another safety. I like this signing. It's a 1-year deal. Or I think I said $6 million, maybe. But with that said, he's adding a veteran presence to the secondary, right? Which we need. We lost a lot of players there. Poyer, probably losing trade A. I don't know if they'll re-sign him for cheap. Get a phone call right now. I don't know if that's showing up on the recording, but Danielle's calling me. Danielle is the one who donated us this beautiful picture behind me of the Buffalo Bills stadium. But yeah, she's trying to call me on the phone right now. Danielle, I will call you when I get a chance. I'm busy right now, okay? Doing a podcast for the Niagara Grit, Arbo. So yeah, he signed a 1-year deal. He spent the 25 season with 3 different teams, though. And he finished the year on a high note and a key piece of the Bears defense that went to the playoffs. He appeared in 10 games for them, starting in 7. He had 51 tackles, 5 for losses, and 2 interceptions. Kind of like that pickup here. It's a little death added to there. He's a veteran. He's an NFL veteran. He started his career with the Saints in 2019. He was drafted in the 4th round. Ended up being traded to the Eagles. I have to ask Freddie over there, that Eagles fan. That I don't know if he watches the podcast, but a friend of mine, how he did over there. He has a career high of 6 interceptions as well. And that was the year he played for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. So he's got a Super Bowl ring, right? Or no, or does he? Maybe not. I might have messed that one up. But yeah, those are our signings. We also re-signed Mitch Renzowski, our punter, to a 1-year deal as we needed a punter. So instead of going out and looking for a new one, he played well enough down the stretch. Sign him for another 1-year deal, and we'll work on that. And we'll go with Mitch Ruzynski as the punter. I want to talk about a little bit about the DJ Moore trade. So I think DJ Moore could be a very good player on a team. I took a lot of beating for this too. People say, "Oh, it's Bills fans always going to complain." I'm not complaining. Maybe that's all we had a chance to get picked up. Maybe that's what we had. All we had there was DJ Moore, but now he's on the team. So I just don't like giving up the second rounder and the salary that we had to bring up to him as well. But with that said, DJ Moore is going to bring. He's the best receiver on the team now, right? He's our number 1. He may not be considered number 1 on a lot of other teams, but he is the number 1 receiver now on the Buffalo Bills. So we're going to have to live with that pick. Hopefully it works out, and hopefully we make the playoffs. Who do you think will win the AFC East at this time? Say it in the comments. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills because I'm a Bills fan, but I don't think they're going to have a great season. If they win it, I'm really thinking it's going to be more of a 10-7 or 11-6 record there to win the division. I don't think it's going to be like a year where you got to have 13, 14 wins to win the AFC East. I think the Patriots are going to drop down a little, but we'll see what happens. They made some good moves too. Anything else we have to talk about the Bills here? I don't. Let's see if there's any more Bills news today before I end the Bills segment. I'll just type in Bills news today on this brand new laptop computer we got donated from David. Now, oh, total fence. Total fence. Oh, whoa, whoa. That's a laugh. Everybody's going to laugh at that. I got two people in the family that do fencing, but Total Fence is our sponsor. So Bills news today. I'm going to see if there's anything up here. I already mentioned the CJ Gardner signing. Yeah, there's nothing new. So we haven't done nothing over the weekend. So we're going to end that Bills segment with that. Those are our free agent signings to this point. And we're going to move on to the Sabers here. I could take out as a guy on another podcast and say, I'm going to say, I'm not going to say his name. Don't need to, but I'm going to remove some tabs. So let's remove this tab. This tab. I already did that. And I got one left. I got the Buffalo Sabres tab left for us, okay? So, boy, are we having fun watching this team, huh? I'm going to take some water here. I'm not going to have another break. This is the last segment. I want some water here. I don't know how the voice is coming through this mic. As you see me go back and forth. Water is so good. It's a Sunday, man. It's a Sunday, and there's no Sabres game. They're on a two game break after going 3-1 on this homestand. Where playing great hockey, man. We're gonna go over the games following the Tampa game. We'll go over the stats and everything here. After they beat Tampa 8-7, I did the show, and they were the following night they were facing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. They were facing the San Jose Sharks. That game was played on Tuesday. Our last show was done on Monday. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that game up right now for some of the stats. They had let's pull up the box score here. They won 6-3 against the San Jose Sharks. Scored a lot of goals, eh? So that was really well for the Sabres. Leading the Sabres there was in that game was Jack Quinn. That's what I love about this team, people. Every game, it seems like it's a different player that's putting up larger stats. So right now, Paige Thompson hasn't had no points in 3 games, but now you got other players coming through. And the player coming through against the Sharks was Jack Quinn. I believe this was his first career hat trick. He also added an assist for 4 points. He had 4 shots on goal. And the Sabres, I think they had one empty netter there. They won the game 6-3. Other goals came from Alex Tuck. Jason Zucker had a goal and assist. And then from the defensive side, nobody scored, but you had Rasmus Dahlin. He stayed hot with 3 assists. And with that when we went to where the hell is there's Tate Thompson. Tate Thompson only had 2 shots that game. Like I said, every game there's somebody different. So that was the final score there. The Sabres ended up winning that game 6-3. And then 2 nights later, we had to face the Washington Capitals, right? We're going to face them again too later in the season. And we might have to call it a revenge game because the Washington Capitals beat us. Yep, they beat us by a score of 2-1. Well, the Sabres opened the scoring that game. Low scoring game 2-1. The Sabres opened the scoring early on, and they really dominated, right? I mean, for the whole game, they outshot them I should pull up the ESPN stats, but yeah, they outshot them by 20, 30 to 21. 30 to 21 were the shots on goal that game. And they really outplayed them in the first period. Second and third, they fell a little behind. Not fall behind on the scoreboard. Washington tied it. The only goal for the Sabres that game, by the way, was scored by the newcomer, Sam Carrick. Ricky. I think they're calling him Ricky. He had a goal. He has 3 points in 5 games for the Sabres. Not bad for a fourth liner. I think he's the best pickup in the trades we made. We'll talk about the defensemen after I go through the games here. These 2 defensemen we picked up. I'll tell you my feelings on them. I was kind of excited for them in the beginning. A little let down, but I thought they rebounded nice last game. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But he had the only goal that game. Washington scored late on a goal. And, that game, Ukko-Pekka didn't have a great game. He played okay. I thought he should have covered that puck up, but it was Power just sitting there. I'll show you a picture. Power just sitting there as it seemed like he's watching it. Power struggled a little bit the last couple of games. I kind of liked his play at the time coming up to these games, and now he's struggled a little bit. I think he'll get back. And we ended that game with 2-1. They had an outburst there near the end and almost scored a couple, but we were held off the scoreboard as Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen ended up having 22 shots on game. He allowed 2 goals. Stats have really fallen off the last couple games. I do think Alex Lyon's the better goalie. I think they're going to rotate through. A lot of people think they're going to rotate through the playoffs. I don't know, man. I think Lindy sticks with Alex Lyon when the playoffs start. We'll see what happens there and see what they go with. But let's get into the Leafs game. So we went to that game, and then we had to face the Leafs, right? So we went on to face the Leafs. And the Sabres beat the Leafs 3-2 in a shootout. No matter how you beat the Leafs, you beat them by 1, you beat them by 10. Beating the Leafs is great, right? Poor Austin Matthews, by the way. Huda's got a 5-game suspension. In my eyes, should have been more like 10. The league's really got to figure that out. He's a dirty player. Now he's took a star out of the game for the rest of the season. Probably Leafs weren't going anywhere anyways, but now I don't think they even have a shot. I mean, they're pretty much done with 15 games left. They're dead last. They'll get a good draft pick. They probably want to finish in the bottom 5 because if they don't, that draft pick is going to go to the Boston Bruins. The only way it does it is if they finish in the bottom 5. I see the Leafs really dropping off here after losing Matthews, and they probably will finish in the bottom 5. We'll see as the season goes on. That said, the Sabres won the game 3-2. Goal scorers from the Sabres. We had 2 of them. It was not our boy Tage Thompson. By the way, Tage Thompson had something like 9 shots in the Capitals game. He had 5 bombs in a row on that one. It's pretty funny to watch. But in the Leafs game, Tage ended up being a -1. We had 4 shots on goal. He's still shooting the puck. Those goals will come. Those goals will come for Tage. We know that. So he did not score, though. The goals come from Jack Quinn again. He's on a burner here. That's 2 games in a row he scored. He had 4 goals and assists in his last 2. And the other goal was scored the Sabres' second goal. Our defenseman, Owen Power. So I just bitched about Owen Power, but he's still coming on with that's the 7th of the year. I believe that may be a career high. I'll have to look that up. And we're going to go into ice time now, okay, after this game. After I get through, Alex Lyon had 20 shots for 18 saves. He played a good game. And the Sabres had a total of 31 shots, so 31-20. We kind of dominated the game, eh? I thought, I'm saying A, I'm not Canadian. It's just a hockey theme, I guess. A, what the Canadians say, trying to fit in here. I don't know how my voice is going to come out on this mic. Work in progress, baby. I love talking to you guys, though. So with that said, with the Buffalo Sabres going 9-1 in their last 10, let's give them a cheer, okay? That's what we could do here at Niagara. We could give them a cheer. How about that? Buffalo Sabres. So with that said, I wanted to go over the ice time on a defenseman and talk about our defenseman in the trade that we made there for those two defensemen from Winnipeg. I'm not huge on it. I am not huge on their play, I should say, as of late. Uh, Logan Stanley looks very slow. All right. He looks like he's out there. I'm going to say the bad stuff first. He looks like he's out there skating with cement in his skates. It's not very fast, but he's a big body player. I'll go with the upside to him. Big body in front of the net. He can hit. He can fight. And he's going to score some goals. He jumps into play nice. The problem is he can't get back. He can't get back. He's just too slow and too big. But he had 15 minutes and 49 seconds of ice time. It's a little high. I'd like to see him where Luke Schen's ice time was, right around 11 minutes. Keep it around 11 minutes between the two of them. Because Logan Stanley, same thing. Big body, just not very fast. But let's face it, people. We weren't going after these two. We're going after Petrarco, and he screwed us over there by not wanting to come to Buffalo. But I hope we put it in his ass when we win the Stanley Cup. That'd be great, right? Sabres could come and win the Stanley Cup. But yeah, I just don't like the fact of pairing them two together. Zach Mesa should not be out of the lineup. So if I was up to me, I don't know if I'd team him up with Mesa, but I don't think Logan Stanley and Schenn would be in the same game going forward, except April 6th. April 6th against Tampa. Yeah, put all your fighters in the lineup or do whatever you have to do. We'll know what we're going to have to do when it comes to that, because we'll know if we got to go up bigger or lower into this into the playoffs to see where we're at. So with that said, well, like I said, Luke Schenn 11 minutes, Logan Stanley 15:49, Zach Mesa was at 15 minutes and 32. Leading the way was, of course, Rasmus Dahlin with 26 minutes and 12 seconds, followed up by Owen Byram with 25 minutes and 35 seconds. Both those players play on penalty kill, power play, so obviously they're going to get more minutes. Luke Schen's kind of on a penalty kill once in a while too, I believe. And also with the Capitals game, we didn't have Tuck neither. You see the difference there, right? When Tuck come back in the lineup against the Leafs, I thought we played better. You might have to sign this guy for $10 million. Do whatever it takes right now to get him back for next season. With that said, I want to go into the standings here. We have to go back to the NHL. We're going to pull up Buffalo Sabres updates and pull up their standings for the NHL standings. As you know, the Buffalo Sabres are still first in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta, Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference is first. It's Carolina Hurricanes, but Buffalo's staying right with them. Right now, Buffalo's record is 41, 20, and 6 for 88 points. That puts them first in the Atlantic, second in the East, behind the Carolina Panthers, who are 42, 18, and 6 with 90 points. So only 2 points back to have the number one seed throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs. With that said, we're up to 4 points ahead of Tampa. They do have 4 games in hand. So we'll see what happens, what they do with their games in hand. It could be, you imagine, comes down to that last week of the season, Tampa on April 6th, and we got to beat them to win the division. Then I don't know if we have those two defensemen playing. We'll see. But with that said, we're going to end the podcast here. This was the 13th, folks, the 13th episode of the Nair Grip podcast. Like I said, thank you to our sponsor, Total Fence. We appreciate it. Everything you do for us. And remember that bandana's tournament coming up for cornhole. Jeffrey Weber might want to join that. It's only $60, folks. Supports a good cause. Join it. And we'll move on from there and see you next week. This is 13 weeks in a row, people, or 12. Because 1 week we did 2 episodes, remember? 1 week we did do 2 episodes. So this is our 12th week in a row. We haven't missed an episode in 12 weeks. I like what I'm doing. I'm having fun with it. There's some haters, there's some likers, and we're just going to keep doing it. I like covering sports. through a podcast. It's fun, keeps me something to do. And then I throw in that stuff like, with other stuff happening around the county. We'll get more into that. I still want to get some more guests on here so I can do more stuff. I got some other guests that say they want to come on. Amanda Weber's going to come on, talk about shed hunting. I hope. And I also got Brad Weber. Brad, if you're listening, I'd like to get you on for after the NFL draft, talk some fantasy football and what players got drafted in that first round that may be able to pick up in your fantasy football leagues to play next season. With that said, this is the Niagara Grit, baby. This is what we do. We are the Niagara Grit. I'm your host, Rob Arbo, and we will see you next week with another show. More Sabres talk, more Bandits talk, probably more Bills talk. We'll see how those North Tonawanda ladies do in the States. With that said, this is the end of the 13th episode of the Niagara Grit podcast. Thank you for listening. We appreciate everybody who subscribes and likes to our podcast. We'll give you one more shout out here. Ready? That's a little music. That's not the shout out I wanted.
I love it. You guys are so great.
You guys are great. Thanks, everybody. And again, it's the Niagara Grit podcast. I'm your host, Rob Arbo. See you next time.